Thanksgiving dinner went silent the second my mother raised her glass. She stood tall, wine in hand, neighbors leaning forward, relatives expectant. Then she smiled, a thin, practiced smile, and said it. My biggest mistake, she paused, letting the tension linger, was her. The word her landed like a blade. All eyes shifted to me. Plates clinked, then stilled. No one moved. No one spoke. I rose slowly, my own glass steady in my hand. You just lost your last ally, I said. My voice cut sharper than hers ever could, and then I walked out. It wasn't the first time she'd tried to humiliate me, but it was the last time I let her. I was raised in her shadow, the daughter she never wanted but refused to let go of, because controlling me gave her power. She controlled through whispers, through public humiliation disguised as jokes. At birthdays, she'd mock my failures. At graduations, she'd remind people how difficult I was. Every achievement I earned, she bent into a reflection of herself. She gets that stubbornness from me. And I, foolishly, kept giving her chances, kept hoping one day she'd look at me and see more than a weapon to sharpen her image. That Thanksgiving, I stopped hoping. The betrayal wasn't sudden, it was a slow erosion. I noticed it when she began inviting neighbors to our family events, not for companionship, but for audience. She needed witnesses to her performance, and I was always the punchline. She never attacked my brother, never my father, only me. Why? Because I was the one who wouldn't bend, the one who saw through her act, and when she realized she couldn't control me, she tried to destroy me. I didn't scream that night. I didn't break plates or throw back accusations. That's what she wanted, a scene to feed on, something to twist into more stories about how unstable I was. Instead, I planned. Silence became my weapon. Step 1, I pulled away quietly. Phone calls answered, visits skipped. Not dramatic, just absence. Silence is harder to explain than conflict. Step 2, I built my own circle. Friends who saw me, colleagues who respected me, mentors who guided me. A family not bound by blood, but by choice. Step 3, I prepared for the day she'd need me. Because people like her always overreach. They burn bridges, then look back in panic when they realize they've stranded themselves. That day came sooner than I expected. A month after Thanksgiving, I got a call from my father. His voice was low, tired. She's losing people, he said. The neighbors, they've stopped coming around. Your brother barely visits. Even the church group avoids her now. Of course they did. You can only play the victim for so long before people notice the pattern. And me? I didn't rush to fill the void. I let the silence grow. The confrontation wasn't planned, it just unfolded. She called one evening. Her voice was small, unfamiliar. Can we talk? I agreed. Not for her sake, for mine. We met at the same table where she'd humiliated me countless times. She tried to open with charm, but charm without an audience is just noise. Finally, she sighed. Why are you doing this? Why are you turning everyone against me? I looked at her, calm. I didn't turn anyone. You did. Her face twisted, searching for someone to blame. Anyone but herself. I leaned closer. You stood up at Thanksgiving and called me your biggest mistake. Do you know what everyone else heard? They didn't hear me fail. They heard you fail as a mother. Her mouth opened, but no words came. That was the moment you lost your last ally, I continued. And you handed me the knife yourself. I left her there, surrounded not by people, but by silence. That's the part no one tells you about revenge. It doesn't always come with fireworks. Sometimes it's just absence. A void so deep, the betrayer finally hears their own echoes. She calls less now. My father says she spends evenings staring out the window, waiting for someone to visit. But no one does. Because power built on humiliation crumbles the second the audience walks away. Do I feel guilt? No. For years, I wanted her approval. I bent myself into shapes trying to fit her shadow. That night at Thanksgiving, she showed me the truth. She never wanted a daughter. She wanted a mirror. And when I refused to be her reflection, she declared me her mistake. So I gave her what she made me: silence, absence, isolation. Now, when I raise a glass, it's not to toast her. It's to remind myself that survival isn't about winning her love. It's about walking away and letting her choke on the silence she created.